Welcome to my channel. This is JC Rock and Metal Reviews. My name is John and I have a new album review for you today. It is by Dennis DeYoung and the name of the album is 26 East Volume 2. But before I begin, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I do rock and metal reviews, rankings, and more. So we all know who Dennis DeYoung is. He was a long-time lead vocalist of the band Styx. Then he left and then he went on and did a solo career. But this is volume 2. Now the first volume was called 26 East Volume 1. It came out on May 22nd, 2020, and that was his 7th studio album. First one in over 10 years, and that title is from an address in Chicago that he grew up in. Now that particular album, I never really listened to it, and I didn't review it. Back in May of last year, I didn't have my YouTube channel yet, but I probably will go back and listen to it. But I recently reviewed an album by Styx, and I got a lot of comments. People telling me I should check out this Dennis DeYoung album. A lot of people were telling me that this album sounds more like Styx than the Styx album does. I gave it a few listens, so I decided to do it. I am a little late. It came out on June 11th, 2021, and this is actually supposedly his last album. Now, Dennis DeYoung, like I said, everybody knows who he is. He did 15 albums with Styx from 1972 to 1999. And he has been releasing solo albums since then. The last, or the second to last solo album, I think it came out in around 2007. And I actually saw Dennis DeYoung give a live show. He gave a free concert. It was in a park on Long Island. It was somewhere on the South Shore. So any of you remember that? It was around 2007 or 2008. Really great show. And he did play a lot of songs from the classic Styx days. I do remember him playing Mr. Roboto and a couple other ones. So it was a really great, nice outdoor show. He's a really great live performer, really great voice. He's really like a theatrical performer a lot. So I'm going to talk about the songs now. The album is 12 songs long and has a runtime of 52 minutes. So the first song is called Hello Goodbye, and this is just paying homage to the Beatles. He mentions many Beatles songs like Hard Day's Night and Ticket to Ride and Strawberry Fields. It's just a very fun, upbeat, kind of a bouncy song. It has some rock guitar, some horn sections. It has some riffs that are reminiscent of some the Beatles songs. Vocals sound really good. I mean, Dennis DeYoung, I think he's 74 years old. Really sounds good, and he's a really great performer, and he still has a really great voice. So you don't really hear his age. Really sounds good now. The second song is called Land of the Living. This is just a straightforward rocker, kind of like an early 80s Styx song. Has those heavy guitars and those proggy keyboards. The background vocals do sound very good, and it does have a guitar solo, kind of in a hard rock style. It's another good one. Third song is called The Last Guitar Hero. This is another one of those songs, kind of like a hard rock song or an album oriented rock song, maybe you could say, arena rock. That's what I want to say. It's just mid-tempo, has a nice rocking beat. The lyrics are talking about describing the life of a rock star. Kind of has some heavy guitars, some keyboards, nice cool backing vocals, and it does have a guest from a guitarist called Tom Morello. Kind of an unlikely pair. You don't really think of Dennis DeYoung and Tom Morello because Tom Morello was from Rage Against the Machine and Audioslave, but he provides a solo, and it just sounds like Tom Morello. It sounds like something that you would hear on a Rage album. He didn't adapt his sound. It's just one of those sounds, and it's really cool, and they did make it work. And it is a pretty cool song. The end of the song is pretty cool. It kind of has an acoustic southern rock feel to the end of it. So I like that one a lot. Next song is called Your Saving Grace, and this is a ballad. It's very it's a piano bass. It's very reminiscent of the 70s Styx style. Really great vocal performance. The chorus does sound a lot like the song The Best of Times when they sing Your Saving Grace. It sounds a lot like that, but it's still a good song, and I like it a lot. Next song is called Proof of Heaven, and this is very keyboard heavy, like 70s style rock song. Another one reminiscent of like that old Styx, or even reminded me of like a band like Supertramp. And he does kind of like sing in like a higher range during the chorus. I thought that's pretty cool. You got some electric guitars. They're kind of like mixed a little low in the mix, but you can hear them. Many of these songs have like the female backing vocals, and they do like add a lot of like different kind of like variety to the songs. So that is pretty cool. Next song is called Made for Each Other. This is like a soft piano-based ballad. Kind of has some like orchestral elements in it. There are some moments I do feel like the Beatles again, but only like slightly, not as much as the first song. But it is another one of those songs, reminds me of classic Styx. There are some electric guitars in the background. It has like a guitar solo, kind of in that like 80s power ballad style. It ends off with a pretty cool like piano outro, so it is a pretty cool song. Next is There's No Turning Back in Time. This is just another ballad. It has like an acoustic guitar intro. And this song, like Dennis DeYoung, he's like a really good like songwriter. Like he really writes like his lyrics very well, and he really like shows it off on this song. On this, the lyrics, he's like reminiscing about his past, the people he loved, people he lost. Really nice song, really good vocal delivery. Has some nice acoustic guitar parts with some orchestral elements. You know, halfway through the song, the song kind of like turns into more of like a proggy Styx song. They add in some like electric guitars, some keyboards. So this is a pretty cool song. The next song is called Saint Quarantine, and it's just a fun song. You know, he's talking about the pandemic, like from 2020 until now. Just an upbeat, like a bouncy, like pop rock song. Very uplifting, really great lyrics. I like there's one of the lines, he says like, I hope this vaccine will make our dreams come true. It's just a kind of like, it's kind of like campy, but it's fun, and I just enjoy it a lot. It does have a pretty cool like funky breakdown towards the middle, and has some pretty cool nice keyboard parts. It's a cool hard rock solo as well, so this one's pretty good. The next one's called Little Did We Know, and this is more of like a theatrical type of song. Has that like throwback Styx sound, a little more of like that like futuristic tone with the guitars and the keyboards. And this song is a little more rocking. The lyrics are kind of like over the top. He mentions like zombies and vampires at some points. Now this song could be again about the pandemic. He does mention like wearing masks in one of the verses. So, you know, I guess the lyrics are open to interpretation. But the song does have lots of different parts, and it is kind of like a theatrical song, like I said. So next is Always Time, and this is a ballad, soft keyboards. Kind of like one of those slower songs. It is very well written. You know, he's reminiscing about his past. This is just a very laid back, nice, relaxing song. The second to last song is called The Isle of Misanthrope. And this is just another like ballad. It's kind of like a power ballad, I guess. Has that classic Styx sound. Has like clean guitars, these orchestral elements. And it's just one of those like very like epic like songs. It has that like, it's like just like a very big sounding. You know, the song does build and develop, has some like harder parts with like some of the big keyboard sound, electric guitars, some hard rock guitar riffs and guitar solos. Now this is like his big song. Like it's the longest song. It's a little over 6 minutes. Also like the proggiest song. There's lots of different sections, and you know, again, it like builds nicely. Really nice piano outro in the end, and I think he kind of like left like this biggest song as like the penultimate song, just because the last song is kind of like his way of like saying goodbye and thank you to like all his fans and everybody, leading me up to the last song called Grand Finale. Basically a 2-minute song. It's almost like a continuation of the last song. It's a tribute to Styx. There's again lots of keyboards, has the big sound, the very like theatrical tone. He does like name drop the album The Grand Illusion. That was their like breakthrough album back in the 70s. And you know, the song kind of ends abruptly, like, you know, that's it, it's over. That's it. So I like the album. You know, it's a nice, really nice album. It says goodbye to his fans. So if you liked the last Styx album, but you want something that is more like Styx than the real Styx album, like this is the album for you. You know, it's cool. It's a throwback to that old sound, and you know, he did a really good job. I enjoyed it a lot. So hopefully he says it's his last. Maybe he'll tour that would be cool, you know, if it goes out again. So I'm going to give this album an 8 out of 10. I liked it a lot. Thought it was pretty cool. So coming up next, some more album reviews going into the next week. So please stick around, check out my in-video links. I'll see you in the next one.